Again, we're back. And per usual, there is no chapter this week. So One Piece chapter 1017 predictions are here. This is one of my favorite videos to make, you know, every time the chapter's on break, because we can just run wild with speculation. We can throw anything out there. And, you know, it's not necessarily wrong, but I guess until the chapter comes out. After the chapter comes out, then, you know, people flood the comment section and say, well, you were wrong, bro. You were hella wrong. I don't care, because it's fun. So we're going to just pick up where 1016 left off and try to figure out or talk about what's going to transpire based on just how the events have been flowing. Honestly, I think it's flowing right to that subscribe button. So subscribe to that damn channel. A drop a like as well. I would certainly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's talk about One Piece chapter 1017 and what could possibly happen. Okay, so recently, well, not recently, this is always with One Piece. There are a lot of things happening, and there are things where we have to follow, things that we have to double back on, like, oh man, do you remember that was going on? What I would like to see is the continuation of Kaido and Yamato and have a dialogue between them that goes directly into the flashback. But there are so many open plot points, and how Oda has been structuring this. It's like we go to Luffy, see what's going on with Luffy, then we go away for a bit, and then everything that's been happening to him is somewhat affecting the entire battlefield. So I wonder if Oda does this again, where he has someone from the submarine, Apollo Tang, reach out to someone that's on Onigashima and say, hey, well, we have Luffy right now and we're healing him up, we're getting him ready, he'll be back soon. Because now they have to buy time. It's a typical One Piece trope where Luffy is out of commission or he's doing something and they have to buy time until he comes back or he returns, somewhat like Goku, Namek. You know, it's a popular shonen thing. You're waiting for the hero, the MC, to come back and do what he has to do. But the thing is, Luffy has a lot of help. So I guess let's go through some of the plot points, things that could happen based on how, like, where they are right now. So first thing, again, Kaido and Yamato, dialogue back and forth between them, getting some more information about each of them, and then possibly a flashback. Sanji, Marco, King, Queen. Something that I've been looking forward to is Sanji going crazy, using the raid suit while using his abilities, Diablo Jambe, all of that different stuff. I would like to see that. Probably not going to see that right now, but I think he could go into the raid suit and then start fighting Queen and doing some damage. Marco and King, we haven't gotten an update in a while. Like the last time we saw Marco was fighting King and Queen, now he's obviously just fighting King. Are we ever going to see anything hype from King? Like the best thing King has done so far has not been anything in regards to fight or power. It's been for him, I mean, him kicking Big Mom off the waterfall, or the Big Mom and the Big Mom Pirates off the waterfall, was impressive. Gotcha, bitch! But I think even more impressive than that, in my opinion, is him directing his forces, talking about what's going on, and basically being a good general. In regards to combat and what we expect from a first commander based on how the first commanders have previously been set up, I know. People talk about first commanders and vice captains and first mates, that being a different level. But in general, the first commanders, they seem to be a bit more prominent and they have a bit more focus and seem to be slightly stronger. So King, from what he's shown so far, has not separated himself from Jack or Queen. So is that going to ever happen? Or is King just going to be mired in mediocrity for the rest of the arc? I don't think so, but at some point we need something. We know King has that in his back pocket, right? That whole mystery about his species, but how long can you hold on to that? How long can King depend on that? So we have to see. Hopefully we get an update with that, because I'm really interested in Marco and King, because I do think King will come out with the victory and then he'll get finished off by Zoro. So, you know, because Zoro right now he's with Chopper. Chopper, he's a doctor, so he should be doctoring, you know. This got too much hype and too much setup for it to be off screen. And that's Brook and Robin versus Black Maria. So Robin hasn't gotten a fight in a long time. And I think this is the time for Oda to showcase some of Robin's abilities, because even after last week, a lot of people are saying, well, they put Nami above Robin in regards to strength after acquiring Zeus permanently. I didn't have pink wings. Yo, Robin can be so broken, bro. Like, come on. They're two bad women. Which I understand why they would say that, but people have forgotten just how devastating Robin can be. And I think fighting someone who has a spider zone is the perfect thing for Robin, because she can literally sprout so many arms and it could be a beautiful battle. And Brook is involved as well. And I think he deals with some of the other members that could maybe be dead weight, but for Brook that really doesn't matter because he's already dead. Yeah, so he could really take care of that, and I'm looking forward to that interaction, because Robin, for a lot of people, I think, was their favorite character. One of their favorite characters, pre-time skip, post-time skip. right? So you're hoping that someone's value does not have to be tied to strength. But in One Piece, a battle shonen, typically that's how you showcase some of that. And for Robin, she's been relatively a background character, and she's only important when we come across something that we can't read or understand. Robin was much more than that pre-time skip, in my opinion. So hopefully we get some more of that. Nekomamushi, he was on the way to find Paris Burrow. That could happen as well because he was off for a couple of chapters. We have to see what's going on with him. Kyoshiro, I'm still not sure where he is. Someone tried to tell me Kyoshiro was in one of the recent chapters. That was not him. We know his mug. That's not him. So possibly a Scabbard update could be coming as well, because I know we talk about the Scabbards being dead, and I don't want to make this a thing, oh, this character isn't dead, because no, I'm not going to talk about that too much. But the plot point of Kinemon is really important, because if he dies here, if he doesn't die, it's going to have a major impact on Momonosuke. Something that Oda tried to set up as well is Kid and Law versus Big Mom. I am really excited for this encounter, and I'm really excited because I'm interested to see how Kid and Law both work together and combine their abilities, because honestly, like, if they fight together, they would be devastating. Low-key, more devastating than Luffy and Law, because Kid controls metal, right? And for instance, Kid is using metal around him, and they're consistently just flowing around, repelling, using his magnetism. For Law, he can literally switch with anything using shambles. We saw recently in the One Piece anime, Law was able to switch with a raindrop. He switched with a raindrop? I mean, it's practical and it makes sense, but I never thought of Law's ability being broken in the rain. That's insane. So imagine Kid having all these particles flying around Big Mom. Law is constantly switching in and out between these things. They could land a lot of damage or land a lot of attacks on Big Mom. Will they damage her? I'm not sure. Recently we saw Injection Shot was able to damage Kaido, so will it have the same effect on Big Mom? We literally have not seen Big Mom even bleed from anything other than when she fell because of Mother Carmel's photo. So is this when it happens with Kid and him fighting Law? Now, Oda, please. It was revealed, I think, in chapter 924 or 925 that Kid had Conqueror's Haki. We have not seen any inclination of King having Conqueror's Haki or using Conqueror's Haki. Will we ever get that? Something that annoyed me, now I've mentioned this before, I think, was in One Piece Stampede, a non-canon film where we had all the Supernova doing their thing, and we had Bullet use Conqueror's Haki, Luffy use Conqueror's Haki, and I'm like, okay, this would be the perfect time, because we saw some canon things happen in movies before. The perfect time for Kid to use Conqueror's Haki. Not even in the movie we saw that. So now I'm like, okay, Kid having Conqueror's Haki is cool, but is it the same type? Well, people hate when I say this, but is it the same illustration that Zoro had, where he has Conqueror's Haki, right? But he can embed it in his attacks, but he can't necessarily use it to knock out others. Granted, for coding, there's still things that we don't know. For Conqueror's Haki, we're still learning a bunch of things. So hopefully we get some more with that, but I'm really excited for Law and Kid versus Big Mom. There's also the elephant in the room of Onigashima falling, and it's getting closer and closer to the capital. So now we still have to think about who will be the person to stop that. For a moment, with the voice of all things, we thought that Momonosuke at some point had contacted or been contacted by Zunisha, so Zunisha could help stop the actual island from falling. It seemed to have been Luffy at this point, so okay, if Onigashima is falling, who will be the one to stop it? There's so many theories going around about who could do this. People are saying Zoro could cut Onigashima in half. People are saying that Yamato helps Momonosuke, and Momonosuke used the dragon flame clouds to stop the actual island from falling. I've seen mention of Shiki, Fujitora. I think the most likely scenario is Momonosuke doing something. Yes, to compare his abilities to someone like Kaido is crazy, but literally his DNA is from Kaido's. The flame clouds seem to also be a passive ability where once you just use the flame clouds, it just brings it afloat. For Momonosuke, if he understands that ability a bit more, it's not necessarily a strength thing, but a passive ability from his type of dragon. So again, I mentioned before that this would be a great feat for Momonosuke, because just like Odin held up his scabbards and saved them from the boiling pot of hot oil, Momonosuke could literally put Onigashima on his back and kind of carry on the will of his father, but to a much larger degree, where he's not necessarily surpassing his father, but he's making his own way, carving his own way out, and creating his own legacy, which would be phenomenal. There's still other small things that have to be resolved. Well, they're not small in the grand scheme of things, because they're important to the end game of the arc, whereas Luffy's battle comes at the end. So I'm talking about the scabbards, or rather the Tobiropo versus the others. So who is who versus Jinbei, Sasaki versus Frankie. They need resolution, and I think, again, we probably go to Robin in them next chapter, and we also get some Luffy update and then some Yamato stuff. Hopefully we go into flashbacks soon, because I am really interested in some more of Kaido and figuring out just why he is the way he is, right? Why does he know as much as he does? And what gave him his start, his history, the early years with Yamato, even Yamato's mom, because moms, in One Piece sometimes just don't matter.
Nigga, where your mom at, nigga? Hey, nigga, where your mom at, nigga?
They just died. So my guess, right? I'm throwing it out here right now. My guess is that Yamato's mom is dead. That's my guess. I don't know. We'll see. It should be an exciting chapter. Onigashima has been knocking it out of the park time and time again, and I just can't wait for this chapter. But guys, give me your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen? Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Guys, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost. I rewrite it.